All right, good day, everyone, and welcome to another installment of Score Boston Presents. I'm your host, Rob Stutzman, and I have the privilege of volunteering with the Score Boston chapter as Marketing and Social Media Chair. We're joined today with Benedette Mathis of Swim Freedom, located in Cambridge, Massachusetts, and Mally Giro, who is Benedette's mentor from Score Boston. So good to have you with us today, Benedette and Mally. Please take a moment and tell us a little bit about yourselves and, Benedette, your organization, how it got started and how long you've been in business, and how you've been growing. And Mally, take a moment to tell us a little bit about yourself, your background, and how long you've been volunteering with SCORE.
Sure, absolutely. Benedette, you want to go first?
Yeah, well, thank you so much, first of all, for having me, and thank you, Mally, for being here with me. Um, so just a little bio about myself. I am from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and I came here in 95 to spend 1 year in going to the Harvard Graduate School of Education, and here I am 30 years later. I like this little town so much, and everybody was so friendly, so I decided to stay. Uh, let's see. And then I brought my 4 children with me and I raised them all here. And now they're all grown now. And I taught 30 years in Boston Public Schools. And my area of teaching was math, STEM. And at the end, my specialty was teaching boys of color who are struggling to get through high school. And now I'm still work with them 1 day a week as a consultant. Um, I received numerous awards for teaching, but my favorite award, I think, was the Presidential Award for Math and Science Teaching. I went after that 3 times, and 3 times I did not get it. I didn't get the national award, but I did get the state award. So that was good enough for me. Retired in 2023, and then I founded Swim Freedom in 2024.
And tell us a little bit about Swim Freedom, what it is and what you do with the organization.
Yeah. Um, I'd like to hear about Molly's background though, because we never discussed that before.
Okay.
Oh, we have.
Oh, you're
Kelly Jarrow. I am a marketing communication specialist. I owned a boutique PR agency in the city of Boston for many, many years until about 20, uh, until about, no, sorry. Um, it- a while back when I started an organization to put women on corporate boards of directors. And it was about in 2010, and we gave ourselves 10 years. We said 20% of the women, 20% of the board members would be women by the year 2020. And we hit the goal, and we said, well, that was just the surface, scratching the surface. We're going to go for parity. So we changed the name of the organization. We're now 50-50 women on boards. I no longer lead that organization, but it was a wonderful ride. And I retired and thought, what am I going to do with myself? And I decided to become a score mentor, primarily because my dad was one and he loved
Oh,
it. And so I decided to do it too. And it's been just a wonderful, wonderful experience. I've been doing it for 2 years.
Excellent.
yeah, I didn't know that about your dad,
Huh?
Mally. Oh, so about swim freedom, we've all heard on the news. uh, we've heard of these tragedies of people drowned. I was hearing them too. And when somebody drowned, I couldn't sleep that night. And it happened over and over again. It wasn't just this person, it wasn't that child. Um, when Officer Manny Familia of Worcester drowned, that was the saddest thing for me. Here it was, this beautiful, handsome young man with a beautiful wife and beautiful children, and he wanted to help the community, and he was a great pillar of his community. And they called him one day, 2 children were drowning. He jumps in the water. He's a lifeguard. He starts swimming. I don't know what happened, but he drowned. And I thought, what in the world else could this man have done for his community? Well, he's given everything, even his life, and I'm laying awake at night, and I think to myself, maybe I can help people learn how to swim because that was the issue. And one of the children drowned as well, and one of the children didn't drown. And so I started formulating this idea that I want to start Swim Freedom.
That's wonderful. And Swim Freedom provides lessons free of charge. Is that correct?
Yeah, well, then I started thinking, well, why would a person take a swim class if they didn't have how would a person take a swim class if they didn't have the money? Swim classes can be very expensive. And it's hard to go out and practice swimming and do laps if you don't know how to swim. So, excuse me. So what we said, well, how would I get people to do it? We'll offer it for free, not having a clue on how we were going to do that. So we offer swim classes for free for new swimmers. We don't teach people who want to improve their stroke. Um, we just want to get them to swim 25 yards, and then we want them to be able to jump into a pool of 10 feet of water, recover, and swim to the side, either scull themselves to the side or tread, just to feel comfortable in water. So that's what we do. We provide classes free of charge for people.
That's awesome. How large of a geographic area does your organization provide classes?
Well, I thought I started in Cambridge because I live in Cambridge, but it didn't quite work out that way. Um, Not as much interest, harder to get in touch with people. So I started meeting people in Boston. I started calling people up, asking them for lunch, calling the head of this organization. I called BCYF. And I said to her, I think I know you. Well, why don't we have lunch together? And we had lunch. Then they offered me a teaching job. So then I got to know a lot of because I became a water safety instructor as I was formulating this plan because I could swim. Um, and so mostly, long story short, I work with Boston, the area of Boston, Metro Boston. Some of the families that have their children in our swim classes come from Randolph. Maybe I don't know how far that is, 20, 15 miles away. They'll come in for that. So it's once in a while people say to me, "Oh, I need to learn how to swim." And like my girlfriend from Wisconsin, and she doesn't know how to swim, my childhood friend. And I'll root around for them. I'll start going on websites. I'll check a few places online, even though I don't live in those towns. So I try to help everybody, but with information. But actually swim classes, mostly Boston, the greater Boston area.
Okay, great. So nonprofits are often challenged to raise funds and recruit volunteers. How have these two areas been for your organization?
Yeah, it's tough because I didn't really know how it worked. Once I found out a couple of things, uh, raising money became a lot easier. I found out it was really hard to raise enough money from individuals. I know that. But I have had some individuals give. So mainly what it is there are organizations, swim organizations, that mainly give to other swim organizations. That is not something I knew until about a year ago, maybe last September. So there's Swim Safe in Boston. There's PHTA, Pool and Hot Tub Association also gives money because if people don't know how to swim, they're not going to be able to put swimming pools in backyards. And then there's also USA Swim, and they're the big organization out in Colorado Springs, Colorado, and they the ones to organize all the professional swimmers, the Olympic swimmers, the big swim meets, all the swim rules. They provide swim lessons for adults, swim grants for adults and children. So once I found this out, then I found out they wouldn't talk to me unless we had $1 million at least of insurance. So then we said, oh, okay, all right. So we started contacting a bunch of insurance companies, not knowing what we were talking about. And we finally lucked up on this insurance whose specialty is sports insurance. So now we work with them and we have our policy. Once we had that, and then we found a pool because we didn't have a pool either. People say, where do you teach lessons? And we're like, well, that depends. So that's the answer I always give them. We don't have a pool, but we found out we didn't need a pool. All we need to do is find people, find a pool, and these swim organizations, they give us the money. And then we said, and actually Mally helped me with this, I really didn't want to ask anybody for money. And Mally was like, it's okay, Benadette. Remember that we had that conversation?
You do.
And I was like, okay. And So I started asking people, and I still struggle with it. I have no trouble for asking for money, but I had trouble for saying the class is free and now we want money. That was the thing. And because that sounded like now that I got you, I changed my mind. So the way we put it, Swim Freedom, is we say it's free class, low cost, no cost, and we're asking people if you can to donate. And we even say, 25 or more. And we've gotten our participants to donate. And that's been great. And we've had a few participants that says, we don't have the money now. And I say, when you can, I say, if you can, we'll be glad to have it. Don't worry about it. Because we have some families who only have one parent working and they have four children. So that can be difficult, right? We know that.
Yeah.
So, but we're so excited that all four of their children learn how to swim. So that's worked well. We've gotten more money that way. We've asked for donor advised funds. Um, what else we've asked for? We've asked for matching funds. So we have all those different ways that people can give. We've asked people to pledge now, give later. So we try to make it not just give us. These are all the different ways you can give. And then we say to people, well, you want to help, you can't help. We have a few things that you can do for us. And so that's been great. So one lady I met at the pool, she gave some money. She says, what else can I do? So now what she does, I said, oh, I'm glad you asked. So now what she does is she reminds all the class participants every week, 1 or 2 days before class, that we're having class. She just reminds them. I used to do that. That's so nice that I don't have to do that anymore. I can think about money or I can think about anything else but that. So we have volunteers who one woman she takes attendance. If I'm late to watch the class, because I usually watch the classes, she'll take attendance because I need to know who's coming and who's not coming. Because we raise money and people don't come, then I have to talk with them, right? That's important too. So anyway, raising money is sort of the same as getting volunteers, right? So we have
Yep.
volunteers. We also have a person who writes grants. If somehow she and I usually writes the grants for together, or if I write the grant, I'll send it to her and she'll say, "Oh, you should fix this. You should fix this." And I say, "Okay," I fix it and I send it on. So so we have volunteers as well. We have about 7 volunteers right now.
Nice. That's excellent. So are there any other challenges that you're facing currently?
Well, you better believe it. I mean, there's good challenges. The good challenge is now we're concerned about capacity, right? I thought this would be a part-time job. It's become more of a three-quarters job, which really would be a full-time job. So how are we going to get someone to work with me? And how can we support all the people that want supporting? We have 90 people on our wait list right now. We have about 50 children on our wait list. We also need board growth. We need more people to help us with fundraising, help us all in those different capacity type of ways. And so right now we have 4 on our board, and we're looking for other board members whose passion it is swimming, who understand the aquatic world, who really want to help us grow and sort of work with us. So that's another thing. And finally is public outreach. That's a lot of knocking on doors, going to these great meetings. And Molly's been encouraged me to go to. There's a lot of things going on in Boston. It's so amazing when you're paying really attention. A lot. Boston is such a vibrant town. I'm so glad that I'm part of it. And going to these places and saying, "Hey, this is what we do, and we just want you to know that. And here's our card, and we're gonna have this, and we're gonna do this." And everybody has a swim story. Everybody's involved in water. Why? Because the earth is 70% water. So there's never anyone that says, I'm not interested in that. I Everybody's got a story. And sometimes people have a traumatic story, or some people have a great story, or how they learned to swim, or someone threw them in the pool. I've heard all these stories. So it's been really great hearing all these stories. But those are our challenges: is public outreach, board growth, and making sure that we're growing at the rate that we can handle growing. And that's what I call capacity.
Okay. Okay, that's great. Um, so is there any other ways that Mally and SCORE have helped you in your organizational
Oh
journey?
my goodness. I've always loved SCORE. I've always known about SCORE. I don't think oh, I know I had a client in another business I did. She had a SCORE mentor. That's maybe how I heard about it. But as soon as I started thinking about this, I'm sitting in my office by myself and I'm thinking, why am I trying to do this by myself? There's so many things I don't know. I don't really know about articles of incorporation, organization, sorry. I don't really know about bylaws. I mean, I know a little bit, not enough. So I go online, I sign up for SCORE. Mally calls me back. We meet. And the thing I love about Mally, she listens, she takes notes, and then she gives me my marching orders. And I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
We call it homework.
Homework. I forgot. That's right. That's what I call to my students.
Your homework.
It's homework. It just makes me stronger. It really one thing I learned about this nonprofit is having a focus. And it looks like it's narrow, but you see, when it's narrow, you can do it. For me, when it's like this, and sometimes Mally makes my hand goes back. She says, "Man, this is not within your focus." And I go, "Yeah, you're right. It's really hard." But she's very clear with me, very specific. She's a sage. She gives me sage business advice. She knows about boards. I don't know anything about boards, even though I was on a board of a nonprofit, and it's probably best glad another one. I'm glad I'm off now. But so I can do it right. But SCORE has been amazing, and I really don't know why anybody would choose to do this job, nonprofit or for profit, by themselves. It's just not for me, it doesn't make any sense. You need to know. What did I say to someone this week? I said one person an idiot, two people are what was the word I used? One person's an idiot, two people are genius. And that's the way I feel working with Mally. And I also feel if I'm really struggling with something, it could be 12 o'clock at night. I know she's not going to get it till the next day. I'll ask her or I'll mention it. Not everything, because I don't want to be like that. But if I really can't decide, I know I have someone I can talk to, and that's worth its weight in gold when you're doing this, and especially you're trying to do something for the public good, right? You really need to run it by someone else.
That's great. So, Mally, tell us what was it that you saw in Benadette that's different than the other clients you're working with?
Well, when Benedict came to me about a year ago, I mean, she had an idea and she had been moving it along in different areas. She tried to dabbled here and she dabbled there, but she really needed to pull it together. And what I loved about her, if you haven't already caught on, is this contagious enthusiasm she has for everything that she does. But also this great determination and perseverance. I have a lot of wonderful, wonderful clients, but she has the combination of all of those things. And you know that nothing's going to get in her way. She's going to figure it out. And, in the years' time that we've been working together, this was an idea. She's now got people in the pool. They're swimming. She
Mm.
didn't have that a year ago. And so working with her has been truly a delight because what she has is not just a great idea, but it's a wonderful idea for the city of Boston and beyond. Because I think you mean to teach everyone to swim, Benedette, but your focus is on Black and brown kids who don't have the access that other kids might have. And this is so important. So it was just a winning combination, and she's the lady to do it. Don't forget to tell them about the world's largest
Oh,
water safety class.
oh my goodness. I forgot. I forgot. See what I mean? She really helps keep me.
There you go. That's great.
Well, one part is learning how to swim, the other part is learning water safety. And when you put those two things together, or even if you just know water safety and you haven't taken a class yet, knowing how to approach water, knowing the things that you should do what's the difference between a river and getting in a pond? There's a lot of different there's two big differences about those two. And some people don't know that, and that's why some people don't survive in those situations. Um, why you shouldn't dive head in to a pond or river or anything. And the type of life jackets you should wear. So Red Cross has a lot of water safety classes. I've taken a number of those. I've taken the lots of stuff that I've taken with Red Cross. But this, they invite you to share with the public. So we're having the world's largest dry land water safety class. May
Wow.
31st. It's in Roxbury at the Roxbury Y. Totally free. We're going to have 4 classes that day. We hope to beat Dubai of 366 people. They did it once with 366. But whoever comes, they're going to benefit from knowing how to stay safe in water, how not to drown, have a good day at the beach, and everybody goes home happy. And that's what we're going to do. The world's largest water safety class, May 31st. It's a Saturday. Starts at 11, Roxbury Y. You can also write us at swimfreedom54.org. I always write people back. Swimfreedom54.org. And you can get more details there. It's right there on our website as well. So we're really looking forward to beating Dubai. I don't know.
And you're going for the world record. That's awesome.
Yeah, we're very excited about that.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you guys have been very gracious to share with us today. We really appreciate it. We like to have a little fun with our guests when they come on. We like to play a little game. We call it rapid fire. What I'm going to do is I'm going to ask you guys a series of questions, and you tell us the first thing that comes to your mind. Are you ready? Okay. Favorite meal of the day?
Overnight oats.
All right. I was going to say breakfast. So we're like,
Favorite season of the year?
Summer.
spring.
Favorite dessert?
Oh my
Ooh.
God. I love so many desserts. Dark chocolates with peanut butter inside. Cups,
Uh,
little tiny ones.
I was going to say chocolate.
Chocolate, chocolate. Okay, very good. Well, this has been excellent. And, thanks again for your time. And here at SCORE Boston, we wish you all the success, Benadette, throughout 2025. And Mally, for you as well, and working with your other clients. It's very clear that you guys have a special relationship with each other. And, that's why we're here. We're here for the life of people's business to help them grow. So thanks
Thank,
again for being with us.
thank
Thank you,
you.
Rob. Thank you, Mally.
Right.
Have a
See you.
good day.
Right. Bye.
Bye-bye.